The top 10 tracks of all time in Mario Kart. Keep in mind that these are solely my opinion and what I believe to be the best tracks, so it's basically my favorite tracks as well. Obviously your list is going to be pretty different from mine, but that's okay, this was a hard one to make. I'm actually going to start with an honorable mention, which is DS Delfino Square. Delfino Square is not the flashiest or most visually interesting track out there, but it's a solid track all around. The layout flows great, the shortcuts are fun, and the bridge really wraps up the laps nicely. And you can't forget about that incredible song, which is probably a top 5 song in itself. This course proves that you don't need a crazy theme or visuals to have a good track, but sadly there were just too many tracks that I thought were a little bit better. This one should come as no surprise as Yoshi is my favorite character, and Yoshi Circuit is literally just an outline of him. And surprisingly, it actually makes for an extremely fun race. Virtually all of the turns feel good and it's very satisfying. But the star of the show is the 2 shortcuts. The first one being the waterfall cut, and the second being the tunnel cut, which is only in the GameCube version. Both of these are super fun to do and give the circuit track some uniqueness that makes it as great as it is. Ever since the first time I played Mario Kart 8, I have always been impressed with Sunshine Airport. Racing through an airport is just such a great idea, and it was executed beautifully as well. Whether it's tricking on conveyor belts, driving through empty planes, or even flying right below them, Sunshine Airport is just a really cool experience. Similar to Sunshine Airport, Coconut Mall is one of the best ideas Nintendo has had for a racetrack. Every part of it really feels like you're in a mall. You start by going up escalators, then you have a shortcut which is also a store, and it ends up in a parking lot with moving vehicles that are driven by your own Miis. And the cherry on top is one of the most iconic songs not just in Mario Kart but probably in gaming itself. Another amazing Wii track that honestly blew my young mind when I first played it. Right away, the chirpy upbeat music gets you in a great mood before you ride down a moving stream and then go down a waterfall into a glass pipe in the ocean where you see all kinds of sea creatures while also trying to avoid zappers that will shrink you. Everything about Koopa Cape is top notch and I love playing it every single time. This may seem a little low to be placing Waluigi Pinball, and honestly I thought it would be higher on my list, but I think I can confidently say there are 5 tracks I like better. With that being said, this is still one of the best tracks ever, and is considered by many as the best ever, and with good reason. This is arguably the best track idea Nintendo has ever had. I mean, you literally become a pinball and race down a pinball machine while avoiding other pinballs. And equally as awesome is the fact that this track has unique sound effects for going on boost panels and picking up item boxes. The only thing I could say negatively about Waluigi Pinball is the fact that the layout is fairly basic and there aren't any shortcuts, which is why it's not in the top 5, but it's still one of the best ever, no doubt. At this point, we should be seeing a theme. Whenever Nintendo makes a Mario Kart track out of a specific real-world location like a mall, airport, gold mine, etc., it's a banger. Well, except for Water Park. But this time we're on a cruise ship. Daisy Cruiser is an absolute joy to play, and it's really the perfect combination of fun and relaxing. I really shouldn't have to say much about this. I mean, you're racing on a cruise ship. You go through a dining hall with moving tables, and there's even a shortcut where you go through the engine room. Every second of this track is fun, and it's a great one to start out the top 5. I was a little surprised it took this long for there to be a Rainbow Road on here, but this one is a perfect example of what a Rainbow Road should be. The road itself looks amazing and it's my favorite road to look at. The huge gaps in the track where you look down at Earth are really cool. There's a star cannon that's unique to this version, and lots of fun jumps and ramps. And this Rainbow Road has arguably the best song out of all of them, although there is stiff competition. Whenever I think of Rainbow Road, I think of the Wii's version. It's just so good. The best track in Mario Kart 8 and 8 Deluxe, and I think most people can agree with that. Mount Wario is an amazing sectioned track that takes you through many different areas. You start in a plane and make your way down this icy mountain, then through a cave, Wario's dam, a forest with lots of trees to avoid, and finally a huge ski slope. I was absolutely blown away by this course when I first played it, and it still amazes me today how awesome it is. The best Rainbow Road of all time. Another section course in Mario Kart 7, 3DS Rainbow Road reminds me a lot of Mount Wario, as there are a lot of different areas and encounters to enjoy, such as jumping off a mushroom, riding on the rings of Saturn, riding on the moon, and even gliding through an asteroid field. It's truly an incredible experience every single time I play it, and I never get tired of hearing that beautiful music either. This is the best Rainbow Road ever, and a lot of people consider it to be the best track ever, but it's not quite number one for me. If you're not familiar with me, this might come as a bit of a surprise, as I never really see people putting DK Summit this high on their lists. And while I will admit part of my love for it is from nostalgia, most of it is because it's just an insanely fun track. You're going down a snowboard cross, as the alternate name would suggest, and there's a lot of jumps to trick off of, but the best part in my opinion is all the half pipes. Now if you're trying to win the race, going on all the half pipes is not a good strategy, but if you're just trying to have fun, it's a great one. Not to mention there are literally shy guys snowboarding on it and you can run into them, which is pretty awesome. It's been my favorite track for as long as I can remember, and I don't see it changing anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching this video on my top 10 Mario Kart tracks. Again, this was completely my opinion, so feel free to comment yours down below. If you enjoyed, make sure to subscribe for more Mario Kart content and give the video a like, cause that would be pretty neat too. And if you'd like to see another Mario Kart video, here's one on the screen. Thanks for watching and have a great day.